Two electric family SUVs, two completely different philosophies, one decision that could cost you over $50,000 or save you from years of regret. Today we're going head-to-head, the brand new 2027 Mercedes GLB EV versus the Lucid Gravity. And I'm not just giving you a quick specs rundown. We're going deep design, interior, real-world range, charging infrastructure, price, and long-term ownership value. Everything an actual family needs to know before signing on the dotted line. Here's why this comparison matters right now. The Mercedes GLB has always been the rational choice, practical, prestigious, 7 seats packed into a compact footprint. But now it goes fully electric, and it's pointing directly at Silicon Valley's most talked about SUV, the Lucid Gravity, a car that essentially rewrote the rulebook for what a family EV can actually do. The question nobody's really answering is this: is Mercedes' century of brand legacy and global dealer network enough to beat Lucid's raw engineering advantage? Or is the Gravity simply operating in a different league entirely? I've gone through every spec sheet, owner report, and real-world test available to bring you the most complete answer possible. So buckle up, let's find out which one actually deserves your driveway. Let's start where it all begins: curb appeal. The 2027 Mercedes GLB EV keeps the boxy, upright silhouette that made the original GLB a sleeper hit, but Mercedes has sharpened the edges for the electric era. You get a full-width LED light bar front and rear, flush door handles, and a completely sealed grille because there's no combustion engine to cool anymore. The wheel arches are aerodynamically sculpted, and the overall design language follows the EQS and EQE family: clean, modern, unmistakably German. Conservative, yes, but in a way that ages incredibly well. It won't turn heads at a stoplight, but it will still look just as sharp in 5 years. The Lucid Gravity, that's a completely different story. This thing looks like it arrived from 2035. The continuous LED light band wrapping around the entire front end, those dramatically flush surfaces, and that impossibly low roofline for a 7-seat SUV, it's genuinely striking. Lucid's chief designer came from Tesla, and it shows. The Gravity's drag coefficient sits at just 0.24, among the lowest of any production SUV ever built. That's not just an aesthetic achievement. That aerodynamic efficiency is directly responsible for its extraordinary real-world range advantage. Winner on design? Purely subjective, but the Lucid Gravity makes the stronger visual statement, hands down. Mercedes plays it safe and smart. Lucid plays to win. Step inside both of these cars, and you immediately feel exactly where your money is going. The Mercedes GLB EV delivers the full MBUX hyperscreen experience, a continuous curved display stretching across the entire dashboard, combining a 12.3-inch digital cluster, a 17.7-inch central touchscreen, and a separate passenger-side display. The interface is polished, intuitive, and backed by over-the-air software updates. 7 seats come standard, with the third row genuinely usable for adults on shorter trips, a massive advantage in this class. Materials throughout are premium, with optional Nappa leather, 64-color ambient lighting, and the kind of rock-solid build quality Germans have been perfecting for decades. The Lucid Gravity takes a fundamentally different approach. Its 34-inch curved glass cockpit display is simply stunning, crisp, responsive, and intelligently laid out. But what truly separates the Gravity is how brilliantly it exploits its flat-floor EV architecture. Third-row seats fold completely flat into the floor. Total cargo capacity can reach an astonishing 120 cubic feet, and rear passengers get their own dedicated infotainment screen, plus retractable tray tables, more thoughtful than most business-class flights. The massaging seat system is among the finest in any vehicle, at any price, on technology and usability. Lucid wins on sheer innovation and spatial engineering. Mercedes wins on refinement, familiarity, and interface polish. It really depends on what kind of driver and family you are. Here's where the numbers start telling a very compelling story, and the gap between these two cars becomes very real. The 2027 Mercedes GLB EV is expected to arrive with a dual-motor all-wheel drive powertrain producing around 400 horsepower, with a projected 0 to 60 mph time of approximately 4.5 seconds. Range sits around 350 miles on the WLTP cycle. Real-world figures for mixed driving will likely land closer to 290 to 310 miles. That is competitive for a premium family SUV, full stop. Mercedes' signature adaptive air suspension delivers a composed, whisper-quiet ride that makes long highway stretches genuinely effortless. The Lucid Gravity Grand Touring, it operates on a completely different tier. 828 horsepower, 909 lb-ft of torque, 0 to 60 in 3.4 seconds. For context, that is supercar-level acceleration in a 7-seat family hauler weighing over 6,000 pounds. Range reaches up to 450 miles on Lucid's rating, with EPA figures confirmed at 386 miles. Real-world owner reports consistently show 340 to 370 miles per charge in mixed conditions. Add the optional dynamic handling pack, rear-wheel steering, triplet-chamber air suspension, and this SUV corners like it genuinely wants to. Performance winner, Lucid Gravity. It is not even a contest. But the GLB EV will satisfy 99% of real-world family driving needs with room to spare. Know your priorities. Let's talk about what actually matters on a Tuesday morning when you're running late charging. The 2027 Mercedes GLB EV runs on an 800-volt architecture, a major generational upgrade from the older EQ lineup. DC fast charging tops out at 200 kW, adding roughly 150 miles of range in about 20 minutes. Mercedes uses NACS in North America, giving you full access to Tesla's supercharger network, over 20,000 stations across the US and Canada. In Europe, CCS2 compatibility means seamless access to Ionity, Fastened, and virtually every major public network. Mercedes also offers coordinated home charger installation through its dealer network. The setup experience is genuinely painless, especially for first-time EV owners. The Lucid Gravity pushes the envelope further. On a 1,000-volt capable charger, the Gravity accepts up to 400 kW, one of the highest charging rates of any production vehicle currently on the planet. At a 500-volt charger, it still pulls 225 kW. Lucid claims 200 miles in under 11 minutes under ideal conditions. It uses NACS in North America and CCS2 in Europe, and Lucid is actively expanding its own dedicated charging network for owners, mirroring Tesla's early supercharger strategy. Charging edge, Lucid by a wide margin on speed, but Mercedes' broader existing dealer network and established service infrastructure gives it a real-world convenience advantage, particularly for buyers new to electric vehicles. Now let's talk about the most important spec of all, the actual price. The 2027 Mercedes GLB EV is expected to start around $58,000 for the base trim in the United States, with well-equipped versions landing between $65,000 and $75,000. In Canada, expect roughly $78,000–$100,000 CAD. European pricing is projected to open around $60,000. Crucially, the GLB EV is expected to qualify for the U.S. federal EV tax credit up to $7,500 depending on final assembly and battery sourcing. That brings your effective entry price closer to $52,000, which is genuinely hard to argue with for a luxury 7-seat electric SUV. The Lucid Gravity starts at $81,000 for the Touring, with the Grand Touring at $94,900 and fully loaded builds exceeding $120,000. No federal tax credit currently applies to Lucid vehicles. The premium is steeper in Canada and Europe. You are paying for world-class engineering, the range, the performance, the interior architecture, and it shows in every single dimension of the vehicle. Long-term value is nuanced. Mercedes brings a massive global dealer network, predictable resale values, and straightforward service access essentially anywhere. Lucid is newer, with thinner though rapidly expanding service coverage. For budget-conscious buyers prioritizing peace of mind, Mercedes wins clearly. For drivers who want the best available technology regardless of cost, Lucid Gravity is the answer. So here's the bottom line: no hedging, no filler. If you buy the 2027 Mercedes GLB EV, you're getting a beautifully refined, perfectly sized luxury family SUV that integrates seamlessly into your daily life. The MBUX system is excellent, the build quality is world-class, the charging network access is abundant, and with the federal tax credit applied, the value proposition is genuinely compelling. It is the sensible, sophisticated, zero-compromises choice for the modern family, and there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. If you buy the Lucid Gravity, you're making a bold statement. You're getting the most technologically advanced family SUV available right now: superior range, breathtaking performance, clever interior engineering, and a driving experience that will legitimately shock you the first time you hit the accelerator. The price premium is very real, but so is the product behind it. The honest verdict: budget matters and practicality is your priority. Go Mercedes GLB EV. You want to drive the actual future of electric vehicles today and have the budget to do it. Lucid Gravity is in a class of its own. Either way, both cars prove one undeniable thing: the era of the gasoline-powered family SUV is officially, finally over. If this comparison helped you, smash that like button, subscribe for more deep dive EV content, and tell me in the comments, Mercedes GLB EV or Lucid Gravity? I read every single one. See you in the next one.